Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Banyuwangi. How are you all? I hope you are always healthy. Today we will go to the Olesari village. Before I explain to you about one of the culture and tradition in Olesari village, let me introduce myself. My name is Nadiyah Adila. You can call me Adele. I will be your tour guide today. Ladies and gentlemen, Banyuwangi Regency is a district in East Java Province, Indonesia. The capital is the city of Banyuwangi. This regency is located at the easternmost tip of the island of Java, in the horseshoe area, and is bordered by Situbondo Regency in the north, the Bali Strait in the east, the Indian Ocean in the south, and Sumber Regency and Bondowoso Regency in the west. Banyuwangi Regency is the largest district in East Java as well as the largest in Java Island. Banyuwangi has many interesting tourist destinations, especially natural attractions that are very popular with tourists. In addition, it's also not inferior to cultural tourism because Banyuwangi is rich in culture and tradition. Its flagship culture or tradition is Gandrung dance. However, Banyuwangi has other mainstay traditions, namely Barong Ider-Bumi and Seblang Olesari, which are no less interesting. This time I will discuss one of them, the Seblang tradition. The Seblang Olesari traditional ritual is one of the trademarks of Banyuwangi. This tradition is always looked forward to every year. Seblang is an annual religious ritual performance held by the Osing tribe in two villages in the Glaga subdistrict Banyuwangi, namely Olesari and Bakungan village. The procedures for implementing these two villages are very different, even though the expected goals are the same. starting from the dancer, implementation time, and implementation processes. The implementation of the Seblang dance in the two villages has the different times. In Olesari, the Seblang ritual is carried out after Eid al-Fitr for 7 consecutive days, while in Bakungan village it's held within a week after the Eid al-Adha. Dances in Olesari are performed by women who are under 13 years of age or are still virgin and have not reached puberty. While in Bakungan, it's performed by women aged over 60 years or who have menopause. However, both of them also have something in common, namely that they are both danced for 7 consecutive days in the condition of the dancer being possessed by an ancestral spirit. The dancers are chosen supernaturally by someone who is usually called the local community with Gambuh, or also known as the Pawang. And usually, the dancer must be chosen from the descendants of the previous Seblang dancers. It's said that according to the story, Seblang Olesari and Seblang Bakungan are a couple. If Seblang Olesari is called the female Seblang, while Seblang Bakungan is the male Seblang. This difference can be seen from the form of dance movement. In Bakungan, the dancer demonstrates war theatrical movement by bringing in the form of keris and more manly movement. Whereas in Olesari, the movements are not patterned like a theatrical, although they are agile. Seblang Olesari tends to be more graceful. The Seblang ceremony for the people of Olesari, Banyuwangi is a means of communication with God and with their ancestors, in addition to communicating using verbal language. It's also through the art of movement in the form of dance, so that the Seblang ritual is called the Seblang dance. This Seblang ritual or dance is held with several purposes, namely as a selamatan, to clean the village, an effort to reject reinforcement, inviting fertility, respecting ancestors, expression of gratitude, and others. This ritual is similar to the Sintren ritual in the Cirebon area, or Sanghyang Dedari on the island of Bali. Seblang has been in Olesari since 1930, but it's believed that the Seblang dance is actually a very old tradition, hundreds of years old. So it's difficult to trace its origin. However, one theory says that the first known Seblang was Semi, who was also the pioneer of the first female Gandrung dance. Died in 1973. This theory is doubtful because before Semi birth, Seblang already existed, and Gandrung as a descendant of Seblang already existed. After recovering from her illness, her mother's vows, Makmidah or Makmilah, had to be fulfilled. Semi was finally made clear in her childhood until she started becoming a Gandrung dancer. The Seblang dance begins with a ceremony which is opened by the Gambuh or the handler. The dancer is blindfolded by the mothers behind her. Holding tampah or bamboo trays, the handler forms the dancer with incense smoke while reciting a mantra. The language used in the Seblang ritual in the form of these mantras is the Osing language, which is the native language of the Banyuwangi Osing tribes. After the dancer is in a trance or unconscious or kejiman in local terms, with the sign that the tampah had fallen, the show began. The Seblang dancer, who has already at work danced in a monotonous motion, eyes closed, and followed the direction of the handler and the rhythm of the piece being played. Sometimes they also go around the village while dancing. After dancing for a while, then the Seblang threw the rolled scarf at the audience. The audience who was hit by the scarf had to want to dance with the Seblang. If not, then he will be chased by the Seblang until he wants to dance. The Seblang accompaniment music consists of only one drum, one kempo or gong, and two saron. Meanwhile, in Oleh Sari, the violin is added to enhance the musical effect. In terms of clothing, the Seblang dancers in Oleh Sari and Bakungan have slight difference, especially in the omprok or crown, clothes and scarves. For the Seblang dancers in the village of Oleh Sari, omprok is usually made of banana leaves, which are threaded to cover part of the dancer's face, while the top is given fresh flowers, which are usually taken from the garden or the area around the cemetery, and added with a small glass that is uh, placed placed in the middle of the omprok. The dominant color is green to yellow, and the shawl tucked into the waist. For the dancer, in the Bakungan area, the omprok is made of kafan cloth, which is threaded to cover part of the dancer's face, topped with grave flowers. The dominant color is reddish yellow. Besides the mystical element, the Seblang ritual also provides entertainment for visitors and local residents, where many funny skins are displayed by these Seblang dancers. Ladies and gentlemen, that was about the culture and tradition that exists in the village of Olehsari, namely the Seblang tradition. Thank you very much for your attention and participation. Have fun and see you on the next trip.